40% of the inhabitants of Jerusalem are Palestinians. The majority of these people are the youth. They have loyalty to no one. They will follow no one. They have no political agenda at all. But they are saying, this is my time, this is my place, this is my space, and this is my identity. Jerusalem and the holy places of Al-Aqsa Mosque. They cannot take it away from me. And for the first time, the right-wing military establishment is embedded with the religious fanatics people of Zionism. And they thought they can hijack the agenda and they can crush the Palestinians. The clashes between a right-wing mentality of the Israeli military establishment and the independent youth of Jerusalem in terms of space and place and identity and holy places. The clashes on Sheikh Jarrah is a question of property. You cannot evacuate me from my home. You cannot control my life and replace it with Israelis in this place. The Damascus Gate is the space of breathing. I want to breathe. I want to feel my identity and my way to the holy places in Jerusalem. And on the top of that, you cannot evacuate, you cannot close Al-Aqsa Mosque. The Israeli military establishment, which is embedded with the right-wing religious groups, are underestimating three things. The politician in Israel completely, the Palestinian politician as well, and unexpectedly facing the youth of Jerusalem. They underestimate the national pride, the belonging, the resistance, and the embodied identity of the youth of Jerusalem. Where we go from here, some people would like to hijack the agenda in terms of resistance in Gaza. Others want to hijack it with a statement in the international community. And thirdly, for Netanyahu, future politicians. They might escalate more and we might find more clashes. The question is, are we going through a religious conflict by bloodshed in Jerusalem, or people can refrain and respect human rights and values and justice?
They've achieved the things that I outlined earlier with street protests, not with terrorism. And they've picked on an issue that the rest of the world understands. Do you think global attention is important now to the Palestinians of Jerusalem?
Without global attention, without intervention from Washington and London and Paris and Berlin, these youth people will sacrifice their lives for clashes with the Israeli mentality of crushing them. People are left alone for a long time. They are now awakening sleeping horses all over, in all Palestine as well in the region. And in order to refrain this awakening of the sleeping horses and not to hijack the agenda, the international intervention is very much needed now to restrain and refrain the Israeli mentality. We have been trying to reach chief rabbis with a statement for control of the Israeli mentality. We have been trying to reach politicians by European Union yesterday and the day before. And we have been trying to explain the mentality of the Israeli military establishment, which is now embedded with the right-wing fanatics who claim they can control, who claim that it is their sovereignty, and will not speak about occupied Jerusalem and occupied territories and the right of the Palestinian people to live in freedom.
Do you think the protests will continue?
We already awakening all sleeping horses all over in Palestine and in the region. And this reaction will continue as long as the Israeli military visible presence on the site. They have to evacuate the site and they have to leave the site. As long as they are engaging with the Palestinian youth in Jerusalem and the holy places, the clashes will continue and we might face unexpected bloodshed.
Yes, I mean, there is always the danger of escalation. And another concern, I believe, is the absence of leadership. For example, there's no American ambassador in Israel yet. Biden and Netanyahu don't appear to like each other. The Israeli government is in disarray and the PA looks weak and poorly led. Are you worried about a lack of leadership in all of this?
You are facing a new chapter, not only in Palestine, in the whole region. No leadership, no respect for politicians, no follow-up for factions. It's independent, unexpected youth movement to say, this is my place, this is my space, and this is my identity, and the holy places is mine and Islamic. You cannot control it, you cannot close it, you cannot evacuate it, and you cannot claim to share it by force.
Thank you very much, Doctor.
Thank you very much.